Dear students, as you remember, in the last session, we started discussing role of the American government in democracy assistance in the Arab Gulf states, GCC states. These six states are also member of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, and Oman. These are the six GCC states or Arab Gulf states. So, we discussed that after 9/11, there was a shift in American foreign policy towards the Middle East regarding democracy. It was realized in America that American security was linked to democracy and human rights in the Middle East, in the Arab world. And the American governments launched a freedom agenda. Under that freedom agenda, many initiatives were started, many projects were launched, many organizations were created to promote human rights, to promote democratic reforms, values, and norms in the Middle East, in the Arab countries. So, our focus is on the Gulf countries, Arab Gulf countries. There are six countries. I am repeating: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, and Oman. So today we discuss the departments, programs, and initiatives involved in that process. Many government bodies, departments, and organizations started working. They worked on making and carrying out the democracy promotion policy in the Gulf countries and other Middle Eastern states. You are sitting so far. You may come here. They worked on making and carrying out the democracy promotion policy in the Gulf countries and other Middle Eastern states. The State Department played the biggest role. It worked at both stages. The first stage was making the policy, and the second stage was applying the policy. The State Department, State Department? What is the parallel of State Department in Pakistan? What is the counterpart? Anybody knows? Counterpart of the American State Department in Pakistan? Foreign Ministry. Foreign Ministry is the counterpart. American State Department means American Foreign Office, American Foreign Ministry. Okay? So the State Department worked at both stages, making the policy and applying the policy. Congress provided money for the programs. What is the Congress? What is the counterpart of Congress in Pakistan? Parliament. Yes, American Congress is the American Parliament. American Congress is the American Parliament. So, American Parliament, Congress provided money for the programs which was started for promoting democracy in the Middle East. Congress also provided the legal tools needed for the democracy, for the policy. Congress also kept watching how the policy was being carried out, how the policy was being carried out. The Congress, the Parliament was watching, it was monitoring. Two bureaus, bureau means office, yes, office of a bureaucrat, a government office is called bureau. Two bureaus inside the State Department carried out the policy. Which were the two bureaus? Number one, the Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs and the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor. Congress approved the policies and funds for the Middle East Partnership Initiative, MEPI, Middle East Partnership Initiative. Congress also approved the policies and funds for the Human Rights and Democracy Fund, HRDF. HRDF gives money to the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, DRL. MEPI gets its money from the Economic Support Fund. Economic Support Fund. DRL also gives financial support to the National Endowment for Democracy, NED, National Endowment for Democracy, NED. Congress also passed the needed legal acts. So the parliament made laws which were required to execute the freedom agenda. One such act was the Advanced Democracy Act of 2007. It was a law which was passed by the American Parliament. Another one was the 9/11 Commission International Implementation Act of 2007. These acts encourage and help the Saudi government to bring reforms in many areas. Under these acts, act means act, ACT Act. Law, act means law. In political science, act means law. When wherein a draft for law is presented in the parliament, it is called what? Bill. It is called a bill. A bill has been presented in the parliament. It means a law is going to be made. A draft for law has been presented. That is called bill. This bill is presented in front of the parliament where discussion takes place. Then voting is done. After voting, the bill is either approved or rejected, either approved or not approved. Okay? If it is approved by the parliament, then it goes to the president for his signatures. When president signs it, it becomes an act. Before that, it was bill until it becomes act. Before becoming an act, it is a bill. When all the process is complete and the president has signed, it becomes an act. Act means an approved law. An approved law, a law which is approved, which is passed by the parliament. Under these acts, under these laws of the parliament, the United States gives financial help to governments that reform their educational systems. It is believed that the act helps address the root causes of religious extremism in Saudi Arabia. The act explains why Congress believes its role is important. Let me check your attention. What is the Congress? What is the Congress? American Parliament. Yes. The act explains why Congress believes its role is important. The act says Saudi Arabia has very few political avenues for citizens. The act says this situation is a threat to US security, world security, and even Saudi Arabia's own security. A law was made by the American Congress in which it was highlighted that because there are human rights violations in Saudi Arabia, this situation is a threat to American security. And this situation is also a threat to the Saudi security. Getting the point? The act says Saudi Arabia must bring political and economic reforms. The American law says that Saudi Arabia should reform its system, should change, should improve its system. These include giving more political rights to citizens. Saudi Arabia needs to give more political rights to its citizens. These include increasing the rights of women. These include deep educational reform. And the act says the US policy is to support Saudi Arabia in making political, economic, and social reforms. It became the American policy to help Saudi Arabia in introducing reforms. So, Congress pushed Saudi Arabia to bring reforms in political, social, and economic areas. American Parliament pushed Saudi Arabia. Make reforms, change the system, give the rights to people. The Bush administration launched at least 14 programs and initiatives from 2000 to 2008. At least 14. I collected the data. I collected data from newspapers, from internet websites, from books, research papers, from speeches. Yes. And I made that list in my thesis. So at least 14 programs and initiatives from 2000 to 2008 were launched. Here is the table, the list of those programs. Number 1, Middle East and North Africa Business Women's Network, MENA BWN. It was launched in 2006. Number 2, Broader Middle East and North Africa, BMENA, in 2004. It was started. Number 3, US Saudi Arabian Strategic Dialogue, SESRIS. In which year? 2005. Number 4, the Middle East Partnership Initiative, MEPI, 2002. MEPI Alumni Network, also in 2002. Radio Sawa, 2002. Office of Global Communication, 2002. American Kuwaiti Alliance, AKA, 2003. Middle East Free Trade Area, MEFTA, 2003. Foundation for the Future, 2005. Fund for the Future, 2005. Forum for the Future, 2005. US Saudi Arabian Strategic Dialogue. Its year is missing. Bahrain Forum for Public-Private Partnership. There is some problem in the table. So these were the 14 programs which were programs and initiatives which were launched after 9/11. They helped democracy promotion in different ways. Okay, Ji, next section, awareness campaign. So I have already said in this class, awareness. Awareness means to be aware of, to know, to be alert mode about something, that democratic awareness means that people know what democracy is. People understand the meanings of democracy, the spirit of democracy. It is called awareness. People know the democratic requirements. What are the democratic norms? What are the democratic values? What are the democratic behaviors and attitudes? Okay, this is called awareness. This is called awareness. So it is very important that people in a political system, they understand these various aspects of democracy in order to strengthen democracy. Democracy will stay weak. Democracy will be weak if people are not aware of the democratic norms and values. And if you have to make democracy strong, then you have to make people aware of the requirements of democracy, various aspects of democracy, its meanings. Okay? Clear? So awareness campaign, it is very important. So an awareness campaign was launched in the Middle East, including the Gulf countries. Awareness campaigns are very important for promoting democracy. Their importance cannot be overstated. An awareness campaign for democratization can include many different activities. Different activities can be launched to make people aware. It can include many types of efforts. The Bush administration started propaganda campaigns for this purpose. So, propaganda is not always negative, sometimes it is positive. Propagate is a neutral word. Propagate. We can propagate democracy, we can propagate human rights, we can propagate educational reforms. Okay? So, in this sense, propaganda is a positive thing. But if propaganda is being used for maligning others, for mudslinging, for bad purposes, then propaganda becomes negative. So, in our country, propaganda is usually considered a negative thing. Is it right? Usually, we take it as a negative thing. But propaganda sometimes it is good to make something popular, to make something known. It is called propagating, propaganda. So the Bush administration, the American government started propaganda campaigns for this purpose, to make the people in the Middle East aware of democracy, aware of human rights. It organized trips, it organized tours and exchange visits. The purpose was to increase people to people to people contacts between Americans and Arabs from the Gulf. Conferences, video conferences, and seminars were held. Do you think these things are helpful in awareness? Conferences, seminars, webinars, video conferences, yes, they help in bringing awareness. That is why Sargodha University and our department, we also hold seminars and conferences from time to time for our students and faculty and staff for bringing awareness on different topics. Group discussions were arranged, debates, dialogues, and forums were arranged. So, group discussions, it is also important group for awareness. So, this class is also a group, and you can have different groups within this class. So, when you are free, the teacher is absent or on leave, or your period is free, or after the classes, you can sit in groups, 5, 7 people, 3, 4 people, sit, take a topic and discuss, and you will become aware of that topic. This is also one way, a very good way to learn. A large number of issues related to democratization were discussed in these events. Issues related to reform in the Gulf were also discussed. These events were held inside the region and outside the region. People from democratic countries other than America also joined these people to people events. Many people from the Gulf got a chance to hear talks on democracy. To hear talks on democracy. Many people from the Gulf got a chance to talk about human rights. They talked about women's empowerment. Women's empowerment. They talked about reforms. All these activities helped spread the demand for democratic governance among the people in the Gulf. These activities played a major role in spreading this message. The administration worked with many institutions and organizations. They included public organizations, public private organizations, international organizations, and local private organizations. So these were four types of organizations with which the American government worked to bring awareness on democracy and human rights in the Middle East. These groups helped in pushing the democratization agenda forward. Because of this wide involvement, the administration was able to reach larger audiences in the Gulf, larger audiences, more and more people. The activities were spread out geographically in various cities and various towns. The activities were spread out across different months and years, different months and different years at different points in time. Many different venues were selected. Spreading activities across time and place is an important part of an effective awareness campaign. MEPI focused on encouraging engagement between youth from Arab and democratic countries. MEPI programs had a public diplomacy agenda. Public diplomacy. When we talk to public in other countries, it is called public diplomacy. When one government talks to another government, is it public diplomacy? No, it is not public diplomacy. It is just diplomacy. But when a government or people from one country talk to people in another country, it is called public diplomacy. Some MEPI programs connected participants from Arab countries with Americans. In some programs, Arabs were invited to America. Some Arabs were taken to America. The purpose was to create interactions for promoting reforms. MEPI Alumni Network played an important role in the awareness campaign. The Forum for the Future also played an important role. Both helped run the awareness campaign through debate and dialogue. In 2008, the fifth Forum for the Future was held in Dubai. The slow pace of democratic reform was discussed. The need to engage the youth in civil society organizations was discussed. Corruption was also discussed. Corruption was treated as a sign of bad governance. At the first regional summit of the MAPI Alumni Network, 16 panels were formed. These panels discussed how to expand civic activism in different areas of life. Civic activism. What is civic activism? When citizens carry out activities to address the collective issues, to address the community problems, community matters. It is called civic activism. When I travel from my office to your class, and when I on foot on the campus, I see rappers, bottles, shoppers in the lawns, on the roads, in the university, on the campus. So I feel very sorry for the situation. And I wonder, in this university, 99% people are highly educated. Highly educated. Teachers are obviously highly educated. The staff is also educated, except for the some illiterate peons or sweepers. But sweepers, they sweep, they clean the campus. Although they are illiterate, they may be illiterate, but they clean the campus, they keep it clean. And students of the university also, they are now in the university. So they are already educated. So who does this mess? Who throws these shoppers, these wrappers, these bottles on the roads, in the lawns? Is it civic spirit? Is it civic responsibility? Is it democracy? No, it's not. So, do you think we should not do this? Do you think we should not throw these wrappers around? Where should we throw them? In the dustbin. Yes, we should throw them in the dustbin. We should not leave these things in the classroom. Sometimes I see the wrappers and leftovers on the dice, on the teacher's chair. Sometimes students leave them. So it simply means we are not aware of the civic responsibility. So democracy is about civic responsibility, about personal responsibility. So these panels discussed how to expand civic activism in different areas of life. Panels discussed issues about government institutions, electoral systems, free media education, women's empowerment, and legal restrictions on NGOs. So there have been legal restrictions in these kingdoms. But in democratic countries, there are no restrictions. You can launch any NGO anytime. You can register it and you can start working. Participants also talked about how to empower entrepreneurs. Who are the entrepreneurs? Entrepreneur. Hmm? You don't know? The business people, entrepreneurs who do business, and how to promote public private partnership. These things were discussed in the panels. Activities of the American Kuwaiti Alliance helped spread liberal democratic norms in Kuwait. Democratic norms. In September 2008, the Alliance hosted a traditional Kuwaiti cultural gathering called Ramadan Gabga. Ramadan Gabga. American Kuwaiti Alliance held it, organized it. People from Kuwaiti and American governments attended it. People from different sectors of Kuwaiti society also attended. Among them were business people, academics, and members of the US Embassy in Kuwait. Such exchanges promoted cultural understanding. They encouraged the sharing of values. In the next month, the alliance arranged another get together, American Kuwaiti Alliance. It was held in honor of the Young American Business Fellow Association. Students from Kuwait University also took part in this event. A special radio station called Radio Sawa. Radio Sawa was launched for the Middle East. Who launched it? America. America started this radio for the Middle East. Radio Sawa also broadcasts live on the internet. Its website has a separate transmission for the Gulf region. Many topics were discussed at different forums, including political freedoms, religious tolerance, and ethnic tolerance. If you remember, we are discussing what? Awareness campaign. We are discussing awareness campaign. In 2004, the National Union of Kuwaiti Students held its annual conference. National Union of Kuwaiti Students held its annual conference in 2004. The American Kuwaiti Alliance sponsored that conference. In 2007, the Alliance organized a multi-city tour for Kuwaiti dignitaries. So Kuwaiti dignitaries were taken to America. They visited Washington, Chicago, and Atlanta. 6 American corners in universities in Oman became centers for democratic awareness activities. 6 American corners. You know, there is a Lincoln Corner in Sargodha University. Do you know this? You don't know? Lincoln Corner? In our library, on the ground floor, when you enter on the left side, it was the Lincoln Corner. Now America has stopped financing it, but for many years, it was known as the Lincoln Corner. It was established by the American Embassy. Americans, they also have established Lincoln Corners in Pakistan. When I studied at the Islamic University in Islamabad, there we also had a Lincoln Corner in Islamic University. And in many other universities, there are Lincoln Corners. They are established by the Americans for promotion of a soft image of America, for promotion of American values. Okay, there you can find many American magazines and research papers and books. So these Lincoln Corners were also established in the Gulf countries. So now China is also establishing the Confucius Institutes to promote soft image of China. Do you know in our university there is a Confucius Institute as well? You don't know? In Sargodha University we have a Confucius Institute as well. There is a Pakistan Institute of China Studies in our university. You don't know it? They don't hold classes. A few years back, they had Chinese classes. They had Chinese classes, and Chinese would teach. But then there were security problems, and the Chinese went back, and classes stopped. But we have. Currently, they are running a fellowship program. Pakistan Institute for China Studies in Sargodha University They are running a fellowship program, and they have also uh, taken several delegates, conducted several exchange programs, and many students from our university and teachers and staff, they have visited China under those exchange programs and under various initiatives. So these are the ways uh, countries they promote their values or their soft image abroad. Six American corners in universities in Oman became centers for democratic awareness activities. The US State Department launched the Democracy Video Challenge on International Democracy Day, September 15, 2008. Many partners collaborated in this project. Young video makers were invited to complete the sentence, democracy is, in a 3-minute video. There was a competition, video competition. The young people, they were asked to prepare videos, 3 minutes video, and video will start with these words, democracy is. And next 3 minutes, the video would explain democracy. So it was a video competition. More than 900 people from 95 countries, they sent videos. They participated in this competition. Young people from the Gulf also participated. 6 winners from 6 regions of the world were chosen online. One of them, Roaring Hamidi, was from the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Winners were invited to visit New York, Washington, and Los Angeles. They met democracy related groups. They visited film and media organizations. This competition became a multi-dimensional activity for democratic awareness. A Kuwaiti official took part in an international visitor leadership program, IVLP program, in 2007. The main focus of that IVLP program was interfaith harmony. And with this part of our discussion comes to the end.